So I was over on TikTok making little videos and I discovered that those short format videos are really short. They take a lot of work. So I decided to expand on some of the topics that I was speaking about over here, because, you know, I have more time. And if I get on a roll, I can just go and I don't have to all that you got to do to get the videos up over there. I don't have to do that over here. So I guess that was my cue to really begin um doing what I had promised myself I would do, which is go back to building up my YouTube page. So there you go. So that's what I'm doing, keeping promises to myself. That should be your number one mission in life, is to keep all the promises that you've made to yourself. And if you need to change your mind about it, be honest with yourself about that. The worst thing you could do is not tell the truth to you. And you can't really not tell the truth to you, but that's another story for another day. So I was speaking in the most recent TikTok video that I did. I was speaking about the conflict that seems to exist between men and women. It's insane, really. The way it keeps coming up in this format, basically, what have you done for me lately and what can you do for me now? And it's very kind of combative. It doesn't seem productive at all. Men seem to be asking the question in the most aggressive way they can. What you bringing to the table? And women are responding like, I didn't even accept the invitation to your table. So what is you talking about? So what I am proposing is that, sorry, just trying to make sure this light has managed to move for some reason. What I am proposing is that men and women take a beat, get a little bit of that air out your chest, right? And allow yourself to think about what it is that you want. You can't really ask someone what they're bringing to the table if you're unable to articulate what it is that you want. Sure, you can talk all day and half the night about what you're bringing to the table from your perspective, of course. But what if what you're bringing is not what she needs or wants, right? So the conversation was with the young man. It was a group of people, men and women. And the young man was like, look, I'm an electrician and I am paying for everything in the house and I'm fixing anything that goes wrong. So what is it that you're bringing to the table aside from, right? And, listen, that is heaven's gate. Don't get it twisted. Don't, that is literally heaven's gate. Yeah, you can pay for that, but it's very different than having all that comes with that in your bed every night. That's a different conversation to have. So from my perspective, just that, because I know the value of that. It's not to negate the value of the converse, because I know the value of having all of that embodied in one physical being in my bed every night. I like that. I like that. That by itself is pretty valuable. But let's talk about what happens, other than that. And that was his position, like everything except that. Okay, fine. No problem. If we're having that conversation, my answer to you is actually a question. And the question is this: what is it that you want a woman or potential life partner to bring to the table? Can you articulate what it is that you want? Maybe that's where all this animus is coming from, because you can't even say to yourself what it is that you want aside from. So I'm hoping that by sharing a message like this, that I am able to help everyone kind of release some of that pent up lack of articulation that they seem to be experiencing, and actually just say, this is what I want. It's valuable to me to know that when I come home, there's someone there who is not a pet, who is not dependent on me for anything except my companionship, who wants to partner in this thing called life with me. Those things are valuable. I remember when we first moved into this, when we moved to our beach house, that I was decorating and putting things up, and I had decided to make the towels like into shapes and just make it real cute in there in our bathroom, not just everyday run-of-the-mill bathroom stuff. And I remember stepping back and looking at these little towels that I had folded and thinking to myself, these are so cute. And when my husband came home from work and he saw, how I had decorated the bathroom, I noticed something. He didn't go, oh, this is so cute, the way that I did. But what he did do was he was a little more careful when he went to use the facilities. He was a little bit more diligent about making sure that certain things stayed in their places. I gave him a context and a framework within which to work to help him to understand that that he likes having certain things in a particular way. He would not have thought, let me go and make these little towels into shapes and shit like that, because very few people really think about that. But once he had it, it was kind of like these are the towels I didn't know I needed. This is the respite place that I didn't know I needed, and I like it like this. So more than just keeping it clean and having it smell like bleach all the time, those little sachets that smell good and share fragrance all around the room, and the pretty curtains and all that shit makes a difference. I created an atmosphere in a place where some really unappetizing things happen, right? You do a lot of stuff in there that you don't want people necessarily seeing, but that doesn't mean it can't be nice. So there are some almost immeasurable things. There are some things that make your life better just by having a minimum, and you don't even have to think about that. And oftentimes a woman is the one who brings that to the relationship. That's not to say that's the only thing that women bring to the relationship, because the truth of the matter is, look, I rarely cook for my husband anymore. We go out. I have, I think, convinced him that, it's okay if someone else prepares meals for us. I have never done his laundry. That's never been a part of our contract. From the time I met him, I remember one day he just came out with just met. And he came out of nowhere and said some stupid shit like, and I don't need you doing my laundry. And I was like, no, Ted, trust me, that is not something you got to worry about. I promise. You ain't gonna have no problems out of me about that. Right? Never happened. I have so many clothes, undergarments, outerwear, so much clothes that I literally would do my laundry once a quarter because I had that many clothes. So I'm like, good, trust me, you ain't got to worry about that. I wear a different outfit every day. And sometimes, especially as a single girl, when I was single, sometimes instead of doing laundry, I would go shopping. I ain't ashamed to admit it. It is what it is. I was single. And I was raising children, and I had better things to do with my time and energy than spending a whole fucking day washing all our clothes. We just got new clothes. That's how we ended up with so many clothes. But all of that to say that, it's not my job to be my husband's maid. He didn't marry his maid. He didn't marry his mama. He married a wife. And what he wants in a wife is very different than what people seem to be making being married out to be. If I'm someplace, let me tell you something. If I am someplace that my husband is not, I know for a fact that I got a way back home. I could have came with you, but I promise you that if I could pick up the phone and say, babe, I need you to come and get me, I don't have to blink. I don't have to think about that shit. I just need to tell him where I'm at, and he will make a beeline straight for my ass. And the same for him. He can never need something that I'm able to provide and not get it. Those things are invaluable. How do you put a value on that? What do you even call that? I know that I have them, and there are other people for whom I can, that I have those same kinds of relationships, but they're not embodied in this one body, right? I know for a fact that if things got tough and I needed a way out, whether it was financial, emotional, spiritual, I know I got somebody who will be in that shit with me. I know that. Our marriage is strong and is healthy. So I know those things about the man that I'm married to. And I know those things about myself. And I know that he knows that he's got that in me as well. How do you put a dollar value on that? How do you say, well, this is what I'm bringing to the table? My husband broke his leg. We were moving from one state to another. He got recruited to a job, broke his leg a few days into the job. The phone ring. I'm on the phone with him. Hang up. 15 minutes later, the phone rings, and it's the job. It's him saying, hey, I just broke my leg. I was by my husband's side within a matter of hours. Do you understand me? I was there within a matter of hours. Whatever else I was getting ready to do that day didn't matter. If I had to walk to where he was, I would have gotten there. It didn't matter. He knows that he won't ever have to be alone in situations where he doesn't want to be alone, because he's got someone in his corner, on his side, always having his back, holding him down, making sure that he good, and vice versa. So if your $100 a week meal subscription from Whole Foods can do that for you, then you should keep that. If the $100 a week person who comes to clean up your house and wash your clothes, does that for you, then you should keep that. If you can pay for all of the conveniences that you have in your life, your interior designer, like I said, your housekeeper, your chef, your dietitian, your nutritionist, your personal trainer, if you want to pay for all those things and all those different people, you go for it. If having a companion in your life just doesn't rate up there with having all of your services, then you ought to keep that, because you can pay for this too. You can pay for this and have the fucking time of your life whenever you want it. You can pay for that. You can even pay for that on a regular basis, right? Like, you can do that. So if what being in a relationship with someone means to you just doesn't rate up there with all the things that you feel like you can do, for yourself and by yourself, then why are you even having a conversation, boo? Because what you have allowed yourself, what you have understood from yourself, is that you good on your own and by yourself. So why are you having this conversation? Why does it need, and why does it need to be so antagonistic? If you don't want a relationship with someone, don't have one. You're so free that you can choose to just not have it. You create your own reality so much that you can attract to yourself the life that you want to have, including a life devoid of the type of companionship that comes with a give and take symbiotic relationship, such as a marriage or cohabitationship. So that's it. That's all I want to say. And yeah, it seems pretty simple to me. This can be easy. It don't have to be hard. Peace.